They might go to work with a bank. Marketing, they could go to work with any one of a number of firms selling, advertising.
Did most of them go to work here locally in those days? Somewhere in Omaha?
Yes, most of them did.
Now, has that changed much over the 30 years or so that you've been here?
Well, I think, too, there's been ups and downs. I remember sometimes during those periods, it seemed like they all wanted to go to California.
Is that a...
Yeah, they all wanted to go where the weather was nice. And then when they got too many people out in some of these places and they couldn't get a job, then they just soon stay here in Omaha. It wasn't so bad after all. So this goes up and down,
too. Has the job market, as you've looked at it from a professorial standpoint, as you looked out with your students as they look for jobs, been pretty good in business? I know in some years it seems like it's better than for any other of our graduates. Has it generally been pretty strong?
For accounting graduates?
Yeah.
We've never had an oversupply.
Is that right?
No, never had.
So there have always been jobs for good accounting students,
for good accounting graduates, there's always been positions. But now, like again, the last couple of years, they got to be good ones. Because if they aren't at the top of the group, these interviewers from public accounting firms are very, very particular, and they only take the top ones.
One of the things that's changed in your years here is the building where I'm pretty sure you have your office now, and that's the College of Business Administration building. Did you ever envision about 25 years ago you're going to have your own place?
No, we really didn't.
Has that changed life for you as a professor very much, and for the students? Is it much easier now to work and to work with people?
Well, I think the facilities are a lot better than we had in the administration building. Yeah, the facilities are much better. Well, I think we work with them about as well where we were as where we are now, but it's nicer. No, it's nicer.
Now, let's take a little different tack as we talk about your reflections on time and talk about the people in your time. I suppose the first person you met when you arrived here almost was probably Dr. Bale, or fairly early on, right? He was here as the president, wasn't he?
I don't believe when we came up, I don't believe he was here at that time. It was during the latter part of August.
Probably
I
on
think he may have been gone,
but
like you've already brought out, Helmstetter and Lucas were the first ones.
Yeah, well, I suppose over the years you can, in your own memory, point to people that were important in your life and in the life of the school. So just mention some of them and what you think they tend to contribute. Let's start out with your opinions on a guy like Dr. Bale.
Well, I think he was a top-notch administrator. In those days, he really, I think, epitomized a president of a university. Yeah.
Charlie Hoff, the business manager and the vice president.
In handling the business office, all the ramifications to that, outstanding. Now again, these are the ones I knew, so I thought they were outstanding. I ran into a few down at Hayes and a few others out at Denver, but just compared to those, I would say these were outstanding. Yeah.
Other people that come to my mind, and you'll think of others as we go along, are Harold Kefauver.
Right. See, there again, I think about many of this long period of time, many of the people that we might talk about, I had as students. Harold, I had as a student, staying in the business office. Remember Roger Hildreth?
Yes, yes.
Student. I guess we still have, who's in the business office over there now? That we had Joe Hebner. Is he still in the business office?
Yes, he is.
We got students that we had that are in the business office. We got faculty in the college that I had as students. All this means a lot to you. Yeah.
Yeah, part of the pleasant parts of teaching are seeing your students develop and change and grow, right?
In our college, we've got Dr. Higley, Dr. Beneke, Dr. Anderson.
I had Higley as a pupil, too.
These were all students that I had in class.
I mean, that brings you up short. Every once in a while, you have now probably a student of a student, don't you, come to your class?
I'm now looking to see if I don't have that next step. I haven't spotted any of those yet, but we've had a lot of students that are the sons and daughters of students we had at first. And I suppose we may have some one of these days stay long enough that are the sons and daughters of that second go around.
Yeah. Now, as you look at all the people that have touched your life and have been a part of the College of Business, what are the names that stand out in your memory?
Paul Crossman.
All right. Why so?
Because he was the one that, like we brought out a while ago, that got us into teaching what we had prepared ourselves to teach. I got into teaching some of the accounting courses for him, and he's just a great person.
Now, of course, the name that's cropped up already in our visiting was your dean, former dean of students, John Lucas.
Right.
Who is
he's a great person again, They expected the results, and if they didn't get them, why, they were unhappy. And that's the way I like to work.
Other names in your college that you remember that had a lot to do with the business world?
On our faculty?
Yeah, right. Or students, either one.
No, we've had Marshall.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis. And others that we have with us yet, like Wayne Wilson, George Harris, Jack Hill. There are quite a few there.
Now, a thing that I like to ask people who are reflecting with me on the times they were involved with the university, I think one of the major things that happened to us over the years was the merger into the University of Nebraska system.
I've forgotten when that take place.
Oh, see, it's so long ago we've forgotten. About 68, I believe.
68, okay.
But previous to that time and following that time, things were different, weren't they? When the merger started coming out, when did it start to come to your attention, if you can recall, and what did you think about it all?
Well, see, didn't we have about 2 elections trying to get the mill levy for the city up?
The amount of money we got from the city increased, and it didn't go, did it?
No, it didn't go. And I remember there, Dr. Bale, he was naturally promoting the idea of increasing the levy and keeping it a municipal university at that time. He had some very good examples about how this increase, what it amounted to, so little as how many pounds of coffee it'd buy a year and so on. No, it didn't go. No.
The tuition was low in those days for the student, but also the income generally for supporting the institution just wasn't there.
No.
So then the merger started to come on, and in fact it did come through legislation and activity of other kinds. What do you think about it all as you reflect on it? Bill, was it something that
I think
you were happy
it was
with?
worked out. It was the only thing that can happen, or could have happened. I will say that I feel, from what little I know about it, that when we were Omaha University, for every dollar we did have to spend, I think we spent it more efficiently. I think for every dollar that we spent, we got $1.25, $1.50 worth of services, for whether it was a product or a service. We got our money's worth. And I don't really feel that we've been as efficient since then, but I think that again is because of growth. We're bigger, we're larger, and you lose efficiency in the handling of dollars, I think.
So what you're saying here, I think, Bill, is that really it just had to be.
Yeah, that's right.
Would you rather left it the way it was?
No, not now. No, it's like they say, stop the world, I want to get off. You can't do that. You got to stay on it.
No.
Right.
When we talk about the merger, in that general period, we talk about another person that we haven't mentioned that is a part of your life and mine. That's Kirk Naylor.
Right.
Observations on him and his work here. He was in there in a difficult time,
That's
wasn't
right. Yeah, I remember we had a Christmas party, Faculty Women's Club, and this was about at the time that it was going to break. I guess it had already broken, but I wasn't aware of it. That Dr. Trawick was going to be leaving and Kirk was going to be coming in. And now that you think back, I remember that Christmas party, looking at some of the people around in that room, and now I know what was going on. I didn't know that night. Because it was the next week that this thing broke, and we all knew about it.
Kirk Naylor and many others were heavily involved, and that was during the period when we were moving, shortly after that, into the merger period. Has the merger as it took place, and as you've accepted it, as most of us certainly have, made any difference in your work in the college, in our relationships on campus? Have you noticed and felt any great changes in our situation here since that took place about, now in the summer of '83, about 15 years ago?
I think probably the biggest change is that through this growth we've lost contact with the people that make up our faculty and staff. Maybe it's because I'm older again, but it just doesn't seem to me that we know very many people today. As I say many times, even over in our building, in the College Business Building, we don't see those people very often, and as I say, about the only time I see them is in the restroom. And used to be, we knew everyone, we had lunch together. We were really a close group, but then again, that's the difference between being small and being large.
Quick question as we wind things up here, Bill. What do you enjoy most about teaching?
Working with students and seeing what happens to them after they graduate.
What are you going to do now when you retire in a few years? You got that all worked out?
No. I don't plan like I'm supposed to.
Are you looking forward to it, or do you like to keep teaching as long as you can?
One side or the other, I'll say I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. I don't want to teach as long as I can. I don't want to die with my boots on.
Want to do some other things?
That's right.
Well, I appreciate your coming and visiting with me today.
Well, I've enjoyed it, Paul.
We've been working.
You and I are about the same. Same group here.
Same group.
That's right.
Bill Hockett's been our guest, a part of our Reflections in Time here in the summer of 1983.